Hey there, my name is Mayan Shah with RVMax.us, and today I have this 2012 American Heritage 45T. Now this is my favorite floor plan from 2012 on the Heritage, and the Heritage is the top of the line American coach. So I'm really excited to show you guys this bus today. We've actually already had a video done a little while ago on this coach, but it's only 17 minutes long, and really I slacked off. It was not a good presentation of this bus. So that's why we're redoing it today. Now, right off the bat, you can see this is not a standard American Heritage paint job. This does have a custom paint job, and it's fantastic. It's the windscape package. The paint is excellent and miles ahead of the standard paint job these coaches come with. Now notice how it says Heritage all along the front. It's one of the coolest badge jobs I've seen on a bus. And then of course you have your American coach insignia up top. The face of the bus is in pretty good shape. You see these little lines here. Get up close and I want you to check this out. This is like areas where the 3M just has some staining on the edges. You kind of see this happen. It's going to happen. Dirt builds up on the edges of the 3M. Other than that, the 3M is in good shape up here doing its job. As you can see, the face of the coach is pretty free from rock chips. There's a few tiny little marks, but a lot of them are still in the 3M coating. The face of the bus, classic American coach look. I really prefer this body style to the newer American coaches. That's just my personal taste. Now this does have a full wall slide here. So this goes from the right behind the driver's seat here, all the way up until the master bathroom in the back of the coach. So this is a really large slide. And it is covered with a awning topper as well. Of course, all the slide outs on this bus do have toppers with aluminum shrouds. They're carefree toppers too. And you can see this slide is so massive, it actually has 2 toppers. Now this right here, you have electric window awnings. Actually, I think it only has 1 electric window awning because there's 2 massive 18-foot Gerards on the other side. But that is electric. They've got 12-inch chrome down the bottom of the coach. And notice the windows have styling graphics going across them too. So this also provides you with some tint on the inside of the bus while also continuing the graphic design through the windows. I really don't see any other manufacturers besides American Coach doing this, so it's kind of an interesting trait that you see. We had a 2005 American Eagle 42R some years ago. That was actually our personal bus that had the same deal going on with the paint scheme going across the window. Now this has a 15-liter Cummins ISX that produces about 2,000 foot-pound of torque. Of course, it is side radiated. Now this bus rides on a Spartan K2 chassis. I mean, not K2, I take that back. It's a K3 chassis. So this is a little, from my understanding, it's the evolution of the K2. You see them using the K3 chassis in things like the 2020 Integras, the 2020 King Air, as well as 2021 London Air. They're using this K3 chassis. So this is an excellent chassis. You see a lot of high-end manufacturers using it. And I've driven this coach. It's a fantastic riding coach. Just a solid chassis. And of course that 600 Cummins provides you with plenty of power. Now notice your 2 18-foot Gerard awnings on this side. Think about that. That's 36 foot of awning you have on one side of the bus. This is an incredible amount of awning space, and they also tilt. You see, this is a style that we're seeing on the newer coaches. Now, the older Gerards, like that 2005 Vantaria I have behind me, you see kind of in the distance, it also has 2 Gerards, but they come out straight. Now, the newer Gerards have this bar that goes across them that allows it to curve and kind of become like an eagle wing. And what this does is provide you with extra shade because it just gives you a little angle that comes down. Now this does have the exterior TV package as well. That was optional when it was new. It has a sound bar, Bluetooth, all that good stuff, so you can really entertain on the outside of the bus. And I love how it's in the newer coach place on the side wall of the bus instead of down in a compartment. Now at night, you can see both these Gerards are lined with LED lights, and the LED lights just make it look excellent at night. And you also have coach lights underneath which are optional. They're LED blue lights that really make it look like a spaceship. And at night, it really sets it apart from everyone else. It's a fantastic look. Now you have a really heavy duty step right here. I mean, you can get on it and just step. You can jump on this. I'm not going to because I really don't want to jump on this really expensive step, but you could if you wanted to. And it's also finished in this beautiful stainless steel. You've got grip pads there. It's not only very wide, but it just looks a lot better than that standard fold-out step. I really like the step, and the way it folds up and looks when you're going down the road is fantastic. Now, I did forget to mention, let's walk down the side, and I did forget to mention one thing. This has a 15,000 pound towing capacity, which is an incredible towing capacity. And of course, the front suspension is independent, and you have a 55-degree turning angle, which is a really, really large turning, a really nice turning angle. You see 50 degrees years ago used to be excellent. Now we're seeing 55 and sometimes 60. So the turning radius is excellent, one of the best in its class. All right. So when you first press hydraulic then auto, it'll obviously dump your airbags to get as close as it can to the ground before deploying those hydraulic jacks. So that's what it's doing right now. All right, now they're coming down after it got all of that air out of the airbags. You see it deployed. There it is, just made contact. Now obviously it's nice to have fully automatic air leveling, which this bus is equipped with, but the automatic hydraulic leveling is very nice, it provides you with extra stability, so the coach doesn't rock back and forth, so it just feels as solid as a house. And so what it's going to do here is incrementally put down the jacks on the side. It needs to lift first, then it puts down the other jacks, just so it doesn't have to hyperextend on one side. So it's a pretty smart system. Now you're going to see it incrementally adjust itself until it gets to a point where it thinks it's pretty level. And let me tell you, the automatic hydraulic leveling on this coach is really solid. It actually gets you very, very close to true level, which is really nice. Now, of course, the automatic air leveling is very convenient in those situations where you wouldn't want to deploy your jacks down. So if you're on somebody's driveway, if you're at Walmart, if you're at even a sandy dirt parking spot, you don't want to deploy your jack, so it's nice to still have that backup option with the automatic air leveling. Very nice to have both systems. Go. All right, coach has just been put into auto with air leveling selected. So you're gonna see it should start dumping on this side, and then once it gets to a certain point, it will incrementally adjust itself until it reaches the point where it thinks it's level. Right now it's adjusting. Kaya, did you put it on auto? Just making sure. It's very quiet. So the interior of this bus is really beautiful, and it's taken me a while to notice all the little details. It's one of those coaches where you can't just walk in and enjoy it in a matter of like 30 minutes or even an hour or two. It's one of those coaches you have to spend a lot of time in here, which I have going through it. I've done a previous video on it. It's been around here for a while, and I've played with it for sure, just because it's fun to play around with these buses. But I've noticed more and more all the intricate, detailed craftsmanship that's gone into it. And we're going to talk about that a little bit as we walk through it. But let's just start with the front living space. Now to your right, we have a couch. And all of these couches and the leather in this coach is this nice chocolate color. And it's a very unique color. I really like it. Sometimes you see this variation, this color in a lighter color or lighter shade. But I like it in this dark color. It goes well with the rest of the woodwork. Now under here we have an air mattress, and it's actually a pretty nice air mattress. All you have to do is press the button once and it'll inflate itself automatically, and then press it once again to deflate it. And you don't have to screw on the pump like you would on a a more standard or older air mattress, this is already connected, so it's much easier to use, especially for guests who aren't familiar with your coach. They can do it pretty much off the bat. They just have to read the little thing and plug it into the wall. Now notice back here we've got these two reading lights, and there's a lot of LEDs. Most of the lights in here are LEDs. However, there are some choice non-LED lights like these reading lights. And I personally really like that because, you know, if you're reading a book, especially if it's a real book, I sometimes prefer this type of lighting to the LEDs. So it's nice to have mostly LEDs, but still a few choice reading lights in a different shade, just for moments when you want a different shade for reading or something else. Now all the shades in the bus are electric. Let's step up here. Now these of course swivel, and these are actually like massage chairs, so they'll vibrate and pulse and do all that stuff, and they're heated too. So there are really nice seats and very nice recliners when you're not driving down the road, and while you're driving down the road too. Now this is a recliner, as I mentioned. There's a button somewhere on it. There's many buttons on this seat, let me tell you. So that just pops out, and then your control for the massage is right here. So you can just turn it on. You can set the intensity, the speed of which it goes through its, I guess you could call them little algorithms. Up. The upholstery's in great shape too. You know, judging by our history, considering we've had an 07 American Eagle, the leathers they use are really high quality and they last a long time. I encourage you to go check out our 2007 American Eagles we have, our videos. You can see that the upholstery is in really good shape. I love how it has this American heritage put on the back of the headrest. It looks really nice, especially with these dome lights kind of shining off them. Now you've got a large Sony Smart TV in the front, and of course a Bose surround sound system as well. And I love how these American coaches do this. You can see how there's a little hump here, similar to our Eagle, but it makes for a really nice space for some beautiful woodwork, and the setup for your front TV is kind of out of the way too, because there's actually a little hump in the curvature of the coach. Now this is all steel framed up here, so the cockpit area is high strength tubular steel, not tubular, but steel framework, which increases your protection, you know, in case you got into an emergency situation or something. Now this is a standard couch, and I believe it does jackknife. I just want to verify. Yeah, it does. So these armrests come off, and it will jackknife to make for a little wider sleeping area. Now notice how beautiful, I love this Alcantara. It's a really cool fabric, and typically you don't see this until you get to like a Prevost, we have a Liberty coach on our hands right now, and it has something along these lines. But it continues all around the window and in these nice pieces of wood too. And it's just, again, one of those details you don't notice until you spend a lot of time, because you get up close, you know, oh wow, that's an Alcantara material. You know, that Alcantara they use in the really high-end cars, Rolls Royces, the nice Porsche, stuff like that. Now this has this really unique polished quartz countertops, and it's really cool. There's like a sparkle in it, and it's absolutely beautiful. This is one of the coolest stone choices I've seen in a bus as of late. Oh, here's a random rubber band. It's probably holding a wad of cash. So this extends too. And there's two fold-out chairs, so you can seat 4 people here very comfortably. And notice how this is all polished quartz as well, even back under here, under these windows. It really, you know, because a lot of the colors in here are deep, dark, rich, subtle colors and looks. You know, the chocolate-colored leather, these dark-colored, the dark-colored woodwork. I love how this bit of quartz goes back here. It just kind of provides a nice accent piece, if you will. I'm just going to slide this back into place. Now, all of the shades, spare, I think 3, which we'll cover here in a little bit, are electric in the bus. So all the front blackout shades, as well as these shades back here in the living area, and one in the bedroom, are electric. And they're actually really cool. These are one of my favorite types of electric shade. So what you do, because they look really nice, but when you come down like that, there's buttons right here to control these, of course. It's blocking out and providing you with a night shade. But if you do this, it becomes a daytime shade. And it's actually really nice because it provides you a lot more visibility through it. And I personally like that. So you can have some shade, but also still see out of your coach during the day. Now the front cockpit area, all of these are blackout shades, but it also has fully electric solar shades as well, so the ones you can kind of see through still. These are more of the privacy blackout shades for at night or when you're going to sleep, essentially. And sometimes you almost forget you have another massive Sony TV in the middle of the coach. So if you haven't figured out whether you prefer a midship coach, a midship TV coach, or a front-mounted TV, you don't have to choose on this coach because it just gives you both. Now notice the polished quartz down under here too. Beautiful woodwork. I love the LED accent lights this bus has. Now let's step right here and begin looking at the kitchen area. So we have a large residential style refrigerator. And as you can see, this provides you with a lot more space than a standard refrigerator would. And what's also really nice is it will make you ice. It's got an ice maker just like you would in your house, as well as filtered water. And it's just nice to have that little feature. And along with the more space, it's nice to use too. They've got a cool little pantry area here. All solid wood. American Coach not only gives you really solid, solid wood on the exterior to make it look really nice, and around pieces where you wouldn't even normally feel. Like, you see these pieces up here, it's normally you see on a lower end coach, these would be kind of veneer pieces. And some, to be honest, are thinner pieces of wood, but most of the surrounding areas around these cabinets are solid wood. So it just looks nice, and it's again one of those details you notice the more you use the bus and spend time with the bus. Look at this little detail here. Really cool. A lot of craftsmanship. But here's your kitchen space. So these two pieces of quartz come out. Giving you access to your large solid surface sink. And yeah, this is a nice area. I love the backsplash too. Look at the backsplash. It has a just a gorgeous like stone mosaic or a glass mosaic that's in this intricate design. And if when you just look at it, and it takes you a second to sort of appreciate it because it's such a complex backsplash. Most backsplashes are pretty straightforward, but this is pretty cool. And you have that polished porcelain tile back there too. Now this is just a dual burner electric stovetop. It's a Gen Air, so it's a really high-end product. You got your Fisher and Paykel dishwasher in a drawer. And I like this feature here. Check out this trash can. So it's already mounted on this piece right here. And then you see it automatically has like a little mechanism down there so it's all smooth like. And when it comes out, you can have this little handle and you have a pretty deep trash can. This is a nice stainless steel bin as well. Just a convenient little feature there. A lot of drawer space. I love the, it's like almost a soldering or solder material right here. It's like a metal in the glass, and it's really nice to look at. It's not that cheap plastic stuff you sometimes see on lower end buses. And I'm not trying to trash lower end buses. I'm just trying to differentiate this coach from a lot of other buses out there because this is really a high-end statement from American Coach. Now up here we have the Avantum 120. It's a GE. These are really nice. You can bake in them. It's a convection oven, obviously, as well as a microwave oven. And just look at the size of it. It is massive. This is about as big as our little mini oven we have at home, if not bigger, actually. I'll step back here. Now, of course, this is a bath and a half coach, so you have your half bath located right here. So it's a pretty spacious half bath. I love the fact that they use this porcelain sink instead of all the cabinetry because it just gives you extra knee space and just a little extra space down here under the sink. Matching beautiful backsplash here, polished quartz, a lot of storage space, very well lit. What can I say? It's a great looking half bath. You also have a little heater in there too, as well as LED night lights for your feet. So if your guests get up in the middle of the night, they can see where they're going. And if it's cold in the morning, you can flick on that little heater. I mean, of course, this room is vented, but sometimes you wake up in the morning, it's just a little too cold, you want to flick that heater on. Let's take a peek at the bedroom now. So this coach really has a very spacious bedroom area. Right here we've got a king-size mattress, and this is an optional memory foam as well. Beautiful backboard, or headboard I should say. We've got this Alcantara material that matches your accent pieces in the bus. And speaking of accent pieces, the ceiling in the bedroom is fantastic. You've got these two, you almost got a tray. You actually do have a little mini tray in the ceiling. And then in the center of that, you have this gorgeous accent piece with Alcantara that surrounds your two-stage fan up top. That's a nice feature. You have the control over here. Now, one thing my girlfriend pointed out that's quite interesting is if you take a peek at this mirror. I didn't notice it. And again, this is something she just noticed, and I didn't even notice until she pointed out. You've got this piece of woodwork in the middle of this mirror. It's a really cool piece, and it matches another mirror that's in the master bathroom area as far as styling. And that, oh man, while we're talking about it, come take a peek at this. Look at this piece right here. It's gorgeous. The same color wood. It looks like it's most certainly bespoke for the coach to match this woodwork and everything. This is not just something you could buy down at Walmart and slap on the wall. I mean, they really put the time into this and match the mirror with the other one. It's a really cool piece of artwork in the coach. Now, let's wrap up the bedroom area before we talk about this massive master bathroom it has. So first off, you've got this huge Sony TV over here, and you've got this beautiful sliding pocket door here. There's two pieces to it. They look really cool. They're like this very heavily frosted piece in the middle. I mean, you can't see anything through it, but it's really nice looking, surrounded by wood, of course. Now, you've got this massive TV, like I mentioned, and you also have your own Bose surround sound system for the bedroom of the bus. So right here, you have that set up. You also got a DirecTV box, so you can hook your service up to it, of course. But you have that Bose thing. Really nice surround sound system back here with a massive TV. It's a really epic bedroom. And you have this gorgeous polished quartz down here too. Really nice. A lot of storage space, of course. A lot of storage space. And your own accent lighting separate for the back of the bus, because you can pause the lighting too if you don't want them to constantly change colors, or obviously you can turn them off. Now in the master bathroom, you really have, if you take a step back there so you can get a view from where your toilet is, this is one of the biggest master bathrooms I've seen personally in a coach. It's just huge. I mean, look at all this space. If you have a pocket door right behind me, so if you imagine this is where a cutoff line is, it's massive. You have your shower over there, double vanity here, again with that beautiful, very intricate backsplash. Look at this woodwork, very well lit. There's a lot to say about this bathroom, and there's certainly a lot going on. But notice how all of this is finished in that polished porcelain floor, because a lot of other lower end buses will have like a fabric here. And again, I'm not trying to pick on those buses, but it's just nice to see the extra little detail. I'm trying to point out every piece I can see. And then you have this nice piece of stainless steel. And then let's talk about the shower. First off, there's a lock up here that I almost forgot. This won't fling out on you. Now this is a really, really beautiful shower. One of the most beautiful that I've seen. You have this really cool pattern on the bottom. They look like little river rock or river stone, but they're very soft if you touch them. You have this nice stainless steel drain in the center, polished porcelain along the walls, and look at all these glass mosaics, really intricate patterns, and little metal pieces in here too. It's a really beautiful shower, and again, it's so high up there as far as detail goes. I mean, if you just look at it and think about all the time it took to put the shower together and to tile it properly, it's a very nice achievement by American Coach. I love this shower. Just lock that right there. So, double vanity, we kind of spoke on this already. A lot of storage underneath it too. Love the woodwork around there. Again, check out, I mean, the detail in the woodwork. And there's so much wood in this bus. They really didn't skimp on that. Now, I love how this master bathroom, I mean, the toilet back here is totally separate. So you can actually separate this door here. There are two pocket doors. Oh, and this one's locked. There we go. So as you can see, these can come out. There's a lot of mirrors too. Body mirrors are fantastic. American Coach doesn't play around as far as putting them in the bus. Now you step up into here, and again, beautiful flooring here with the porcelain tile. I love this little accent piece. You have to have an engine bay here, of course, somewhere in the coach, and they took their time and actually embraced it and made it look really cool. So I love the toilet room here. It's really big. It's actually bigger than the half bath up front. And this is your own little quarters back here. We have a washer dryer stack here. Really nice, like sort of pantry space. Some free Tide that goes with the bus. Look at all the lighting back here too. This is a leather piece, by the way. These are leather pieces. And then you have that Alcantara that matches the accent pieces from before. So really intricate detail just on the lighting in here. And nice piece up here, which actually ducts air conditioning back here so they didn't cut you off from the rest of the bus. And a huge wardrobe space, that's right. And you have a light switch for that wardrobe space over here. So notice I'm pressing it from way over here in the bathroom so you can shut it off with ease. You got cedar in the back and just a massive amount of wardrobe space. There's your 2 fold-out chairs. You actually have a safe there too, which we have the keys to. And again, look at this piece up here. The wardrobe light, same deal as in the back toilet. Leather Alcantara. Fantastic. Even in a place you wouldn't even see unless you stuck your head up in here. They finished it out with beautiful materials. And even, look, come back, look at the detail here. You see that, point the camera up in that corner. You see that? They even used a piece of wood that matches the rest of the coach with the accent piece in the wardrobe. I mean, that's a level of detail that's just really nice to see out of a coach manufacturer. Now, I think that will complete our tour of the interior here. I think we've talked about, oh, by the way, before we step out of the bathroom, check this piece out right here. Again, porcelain countertop, just a nice area to put more stuff and drawers. And you have a window there. I totally forgot to mention that, sorry. There it is, now I mentioned it. So, I think we finished the tour of the interior for the most part. So let's go ahead and move on and check out how it drives. That's coming very soon. We're gonna go drive the bus and I'll give you my feedback. And I've already driven the coach, so my opinion's already there, but I look forward to being able to drive it again. So stay tuned. All right, we're gonna start the compartments with this front driver's side compartment. Now this is a really convenient area because you've got your airline service here, so you can quickly, suppose here's one right here, just happens to be laying there. All you do, there you go. Now you can fill up your tires, you can fill up your car's tires, whatever you want. You've got quick access to compressed air. Quite easy to take it on and off too. Now you also have your generator slide button, windshield wiper fluid, and some other boring stuff. Let's go ahead and open that generator. Now you'll notice the entire face of this bus comes out, which gives you very easy access to your headlights, your fog lights, all that good stuff, as well as, of course, your 12.5 generator. Now that's a big generator. It's a 12.5 kilowatt generator. It's running butter smooth. It's got about 560 hours on it, which is barely broken in on a generator like this. This generator will quite easily get to 20,000 hours, assuming that you're maintaining it as it should be maintained. I'm just gonna roll that back in. Slowly, slowly. It's a very glamorous process. But this is a really nice feature because it gives you extremely easy access and reduces your labor costs over the years of getting this service. But it's really nice to be able to pull that whole face out and not only get to your generator, but to be able to get to your headlights and all that, so you can quickly and easily change them out if you need to. They've got AccuRide wheels all the way around, and they're beautiful wheels, 22.5 size. You got 315, 80, are 22.5 all the way around. And the ride height is perfect. Of course, right now it's kind of leveled up on auto air. Now this has the electric slide tray package. So what you do, because it is so much work to slide these out, what you do is you just press this button. There it is. Very easy. And that reveals a very large slide out tray. You got a little fold out chair that may or may not go with the bus. As well as some DEF fluid that also may or may not go with the bus. Now you can quickly and easily just push it back in. Now that is one of the most show-offy type things. I mean, you pull up to your camp spot, right? And you have a guy with whoever's next to you, and you just do that. You're like, oh, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with sliding out a slide tray. I have to push my button. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Let's open this one. Can you guess what happens here? Same deal. It slides out, and of course it's not wanting to slide out. Sometimes they are a little finicky, to be completely honest with you guys on the camera. So it will go out the other way, but it's not wanting to come out this side. That is what it is, and that could be a very quick and simple fix, or it could not be. I'm not sure what entirely. It's probably a sensor because it's thinking that it's not open. It's thinking this compartment door is not open, so I wonder if I could play around. It's probably that sensor right here. You can see you have these magnet strips. I've seen this happen before. It's pretty common. But you have your ladder extension here, which we will be using here in just a bit. Now this has a massive amount of storage. You've got like this, it's called pebble coated, like laminated interior here. I really like this. American Coach does this. It's a really easy to keep clean material. Now this is one of the access points to your dual fill-up fuel tank. Now this has a 150-gallon fuel tank, which is really massive. And like I said, you can fill it up from both sides of the bus. Now right here we have the AquaHot 600D. Now this is a big boy AquaHot or a big girl AquaHot. A lot of times in the other coaches that have AquaHots, they'll have the 450s or 400s, or sometimes older ones they're not modeled like that. They're modeled a little differently. The 600 is a huge, much more powerful AquaHot system. And what's really nice about it is you can run it off of electric on a high and low setting. So if you want to have a low electric just for like, normal daily use, it'll create pretty warm, nearly hot water on the low electric setting. Now the electric high will provide you with a lot of steaming hot water. Enough to take like a 30 or 45 minute shower, because I've tested that in this bus. Actually, I've let it run for a long time, and I was just curious, to be honest. So the electric side on this AquaHot is no joke. This is not your little electric element in an Atwood 10-gallon hot water heater. This is a serious system. Now, of course, you have the diesel-fired side, which is, of course, unlimited steaming hot water. Now, it also will collect heat off of your engine. So even if you have the AquaHot not running, your engine will heat the water, so you'll have steaming hot water with the AquaHot system not on at all, just using heat from the engine. Now I really like that feature because it means you don't have to run your system while running down the road. Or if you get to a camp spot and shut your bus off, it's pretty well insulated. It'll stay hot for a long time. Now right here is your plumbing bay. You've got your water filter there. It's full. The coach is fully filtrated, the water system. You've also got a SaniCon system. Now I really like the SaniCon system because if your dump station or the tube where you're going to be plugging into you plug your pipe in, right? If it's higher, sometimes it can be, some places I've seen campgrounds, they'll have higher pipes, and that's why you see at campgrounds, you see people with those little stakes that they put in the ground to keep their tubes off the ground. And they do that partially because I guess it keeps the dirt off of it, or unless you're at a concrete pad, and partially because they have to have it kind of up so it runs out of the coach, right? Well, with the SaniCon system, it doesn't matter. It can be up here. It can be up on top of the coach. It's fine. It's essentially kind of a pump. It's a macerator, but it also pumps as well. So that's an underrated feature that I only learned about recently, to be completely honest. That's a huge benefit of having the SaniCon system. Now everything else is pretty straightforward. You've got some access to your multiplex system, so your water pump, your cargo lights, you can turn that all on and off here, as well as a 12-volt outlet, which is kind of interesting. This is nice. This is a SaniFlush by Swan Industries, so you can flush your gray and black tank here. So you can switch between gray and black, so you can put water into it, flush your sensors out. You also have your cold water drain, hot water drain, blah, 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 water bypass, straightforward stuff, right? This is pretty cool here. So all you do is pull this out, and notice it has rollers on all sides. So it doesn't matter even if the cable's over here, over there, all you do is push this button, and it just reels itself back in. There it is, all done. You also have your little outside shower. Let's turn the pump on. There we go. This is really nice at the beach too. You want to rinse your feet off before going into your bus, or clean your pet off, anything like that. It's just useful to have an outside shower. You also have access to your Sense tank, so you can check your tank levels. Underrated feature, by the way. It's nice to have that. Nice little rack for your paper towels, a soap dispenser, convenient items to have. And just notice that there's no rust in here, by the way. You see a lot of times, especially in older coaches, all these metal pieces will be rusted out. Thankfully, this metal is not rusting. It should be either a galvanized metal or some type of alloy that's not subject to oxidizing like certain metals are, especially in older buses, because I love seeing metal plumbing bays, but unfortunately a lot of, like I said, older buses, they rust out, so people either opt to use plastic or go the expensive route like this bus has. Now back here we have our tag axles as well as dually. Now again, AccuRide tires look fantastic. You can temporarily raise your tag wheel if you need to on this bus. It does allow you to do that. Now these tires right here, your tag tires are 2016 date codes, 49th week of 2016, same as the front tires. However, your dually tires are like 2011 date codes, so they are a bit older, but they're showing no signs of dry rot cracks. It is what it is. The other tires are not so bad. They're much newer, and I wouldn't personally replace the 2016 date code tires, because especially being the 49th week of 2016, they're probably put on sometime mid 2017. Right here you have your 50 amp power cable. Now this is also an electric reel. So you can see you just open that up and then press out. Pretty straightforward. Very nice system. I believe this is a 50-foot cord. This is a really long cord. Or not a 50-foot, I'm sorry, like a 30-foot cord. 50-foot would be incredible. Now you also have that, you see the cloth there. A lot of times people will clean the cable as it goes back in just so it stays clean. Look at this. So this is a side-mounted radiated bus. And this is a gorgeous grill. All this stainless steel here. This is like a tube stainless steel that's kind of styled to go along the side, and that just looks drop dead gorgeous. I'll step around the back to a big piece of this bus. This has a 15-liter Cummins ISX that produces about 2,000 foot-pound of torque, as well as 600 horsepower. So this is a really powerful engine. And trust me, you'll be able to easily do 90 miles an hour plus. I definitely don't say that from experience. No, that's all theoretical, right? Nah, don't say that from experience. Check that out. This is a massive engine. It's got a VG turbo. The 15 liters at 600 horsepower are fantastic. And it makes plenty of power. Plenty of power. A lot of 45 footers are out there with much less horsepower and torque than this bus. So a 15 liter is fantastic to have that extra power at your disposal. Now right here you have your power level. You have a valid system. So this has air leveling as well as hydraulic leveling. And I'll give you a tour of that, or kind of demonstration of that later. But it's really nice to have that little light out here, etc. Again, notice the stainless steel. These rails look gorgeous. Now this is part of your docking light system, really bright lights. And the docking lights on this coach are actually really fantastic. And the night lights in general are really nice. Okay, so this here right here is peeling a little bit. Let's point that out. It's not perfect. This is a 2012. We're just pointing out flaws that we see. That's how we do business here. So you can see this is like a weird material. But you can tell, that's so funny, you can tell everything else, all this is real stainless steel, and one place is not real, is of course peeling. Down back in place. And this has a 15,000 pound towing capacity. So it's got a massive towing capacity. Got all your outlets right here, Heritage chromed out mud flap. That chrome exhaust pipe right down on the left is for your aqua-hot system. I love the fact that it's chromed out. It's fantastic. Now let's take a step down the side and check out the passenger side compartment doors. You've got two chassis side batteries. These are brand new batteries. Main cutoffs. Got a storage compartment right here. That's your DEF fluid tank on the left. And these coaches really didn't have a problem at all with the DEF. These are great engines. I know the first couple of years of DEF, they had some issues. This, as 2012, this ISX is fantastic. So the cockpit in this coach is pretty fantastic, actually. Let's start over to the left now. You have this control for your rear camera audio, so you can turn it on, turn the volume up and down. So if you want to listen to what's going on back there, you certainly can when you're in reverse and everything. Now right here, you have your valid leveling system control, air, hydraulic. This has both, which is very nice. There's a lot of situations where you don't want to put your jacks down, so you can quickly level up with your air leveling system. This is the control for your silver leaf. So what that's controlling is this screen right here. So you can go through, you know, coolant, you got turbo pressure, how much it's putting out, your tires, all kinds of stuff. And there's actually more than this. You can change what you're seeing with the view button. But I love that you see your transmission temperature. That's a very important temperature to keep an eye on. And then you can go all these different trip things, all kinds of different information you can get through here. You even have like, yeah, anyways, very nice system. I love it for just, mainly I like using it for, where is that screen? I've lost the screen. Hold on. Oh yeah, view engine diagnostics, time of arrival, fuel required, main trip. See, this is a really cool system, very complex, but again, useful data in there you can keep an eye on while going down the road. Now this is a control for your 6-speed Allison. This right here, so if you press driver exit, see what it does? Isn't this fantastic? It backs the steering wheel up, puts it up, puts your seat back down in here, like backs it away so you can easily get in and out. I love that. And then you have different driver presets here. So driver 1, then there's driver 2. And it takes you to whatever preset. These are really highly configurable seats. Now the steering wheel control is very cool. It's called a Douglas power or steering center. So to control the this part, the angle of the steering wheel, you have this little tab right here. Just press it that way to do that back and forth. Then get it to telescope right here. Just press that. And get this. This right here is for your pedals. So you pull your pedals in and out with this little tab. At first, it seems quirky and useless. It's actually really nice because there's no work involved. You just quickly press the button, especially when you just press the driver exit and it puts it up for you. It sounds minor, but trust me, it's really nice to get in and out of this coach. It's very easy to do. Minimizes the work needed. Of course, you have cruise control here, windshield wipers, blah blah. You can flash your headlights, flash your taillights with this. You can manually tag dump here, which is nice. Air horn, turn it on and off, automatic traction control. This is your engine brake. I love these engine brake controls. This is the set between low, medium, high. And this is to turn it on and off. I love how it's sticking up because you don't have to look at it. If you're looking out over here, you just put your hand over here, you know instantaneously which one turns your engine brake off. Absolutely love that. Small feature, but from a driver perspective, love it. This is to control your window, electric window over here. I love this cup holder, and I love this 12-volt socket. Fantastic idea. Have it over here. Deer avoidance. You also have an auxiliary start, so you can combine batteries to start your generator or your engine. There's the headlight control. Thank the heavens they don't use those 1970s GM switches anymore. They have bespoke or American. There's real switches, like piano switches. Fantastic. Much better than the old stuff you saw. Isn't that cool? Look at that air conditioner control. Really cool system. I mean, it looks aesthetically very pleasing. Steering wheel is awesome. Got this big piece of wood here. It's just nice to grip. 2 screens, so when you signal, it'll still show you your backup monitor. I really appreciate that. Gen start, blah 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 stuff. You know, it's a lot of stuff on this coach. You have your generator hours showing 571. I love that. Check that out right there. Let me get out of my seat real quick and show you this. You have separate controls for your passengers' air conditioning, and this is very useful. Even go floor, feet, cold, how cold or warm you want it. This is great because she is really picky about her, really picky about how cold it is, and she gets cold very quickly where I'm like burning up, so it's nice to have two zones up here. Anyways, this is cool too. You can connect your Bluetooth to it, your phone, radio, CDs, Rand McNally navigation system in here, Sirius XM, it's already wired. Yeah, that's about it. Let's go hit the road. And I already recorded a clip for the test drive. And honestly, it's I didn't talk that much. I didn't articulate very well. But this is a really nice driving bus. Has a lot of power and is extremely stable. I mean, it's surprisingly stable at high speeds. So it's a great driving bus. Let's go check it out. All right, we're getting on the highway now. And yeah, I already have my opinion on this bus because I've driven it before. It's a great driving bus. I mean, it really doesn't get any better than this. You got the K3 chassis, the 600 Cummins makes so much power. I mean, you can do 90 very easily in this bus. I mean, I'm at 60 right now. I mean, I'm just taking a Sunday cruise here. 65. I'm not looking at it, but I almost guarantee you, yeah, 70 miles an hour. And 75. We're rolling good now. Let's see if I got my side cameras there. When I indicate, I should probably slow down because I'm not trying to go way too fast and get pulled over. That is a problem you have in this coach because it has a lot of power. Again, almost 2,000 foot-pound of torque. Now the K3 chassis is excellent chassis. And this thing has a 50,000 pound GVWR. So you have a lot of weight. And look, I'm gonna go fly by this 18-wheeler with a finger. That's right. Going by an 18-wheeler around a corner with a finger. These are the things you can do in an American Heritage. Again, next to an 18-wheeler, one finger. Let's make it a pinky. How about that? Pinky next to the 18-wheeler. Am I getting my point across? I hope I am. It's a very smooth driving bus. And it's smooth driving from a mechanical perspective. And I mean that because it doesn't have comfort drive, you know, like the Newmars have. But there's something about this. It does the job without you don't need electronics in here to be able to keep the coach in between the lanes. It just mechanically is already astounding. Changing lanes. I think I'm going to do the rest of the test drive. Let's turn the air conditioning up with one finger. Now I'm getting passed by an 18-wheeler with one finger. I'm going to indicate. You see that? And now we're over here now. One finger. We're going around this exit corner now. Turn that indicator off. I think this is about all I need to do for this test drive. Is just drive the whole time with the finger. Yep. That's all you need. I could do it with my foot, to be honest. I could kick my feet up and do it with like the side of my leg. It's a very stable coach. I don't know what else to say. The power output is pretty fantastic because you don't expect it. Now look, I have a lot of people come and sometimes, occasionally, people will say, well, you know, it's not that fast. Of course not. It's a bus. It weighs 50,000 pounds. This is never going to be a 911 or a Corvette. But from my perspective, because I've driven so many of these coaches, I know when a coach has a lot of power. And this is one of them. The 600 ISX is fantastic. I just put my foot down. It has so much torque. See, because I know, and of course, I drive Corvettes and Porsches and fast cars all the time, so I know what fast cars feel like. It's not like I've driven a Yugo around my whole life. I know what fast is, and I can feel the torque in this bus. It's got an immense amount of torque and power. I was not kidding when I said you could do 90, 95 quite easily. You can honestly go faster than that in this bus. I would not recommend it. I typically cap out around 90. I don't like going any faster than that. 95 in a bus, I don't go faster than that. But this coach will easily do it. Now I'm going to floor it here. Remember, this is our test spot. And I forgot to floor it. This is a late floor. So this is at a slight disadvantage. Remember that. But even then, I don't think we're going to have any trouble. 45, up a hill. 50, 55, 60, 65 when we cross the bridge. And remember, that's a late floor. We're already at 70 now. 75. And the power is fantastic. Oh, look, I forgot. I'm supposed to be doing it with a finger. We're accelerating up this hill. We're at 80 miles an hour now. Don't look at that sign. Don't show them that sign. That sign definitely says 80 miles an hour. I'm definitely not doing 80 miles an hour. Up a hill with a finger. $85 miles an hour, and I'm going to slow down because there's traffic. And that's when I can use my beautiful, fantastic engine brake. Just come on to the brakes. Just pass these slow cars. Check my blind spots. That's one thing I will say I like about the side cameras, because I love the 3-mirror setup, and I get all my information from the mirrors. But if you're trying to make a quick change, you just want to quickly verify there's no one in that lane in your blind spot, look at your camera. It eliminates it instantly. Did I mention it has a lot of power? Has a lot of power. Now, the 3-stage exhaust brake is also another really nice feature, because the low setting, I find myself using the low setting a lot. And when you're coming up to a stop, the high setting in this coach is so high, I find myself turning it down to low, and then as I need more braking power, I'll feed it up to medium and then high. But the low is beautiful, especially from around town, because around town, you're not gonna. Let me adjust this. You're not gonna use that high engine brake. It's gonna be too much for around town. Too much braking power from the engine brake. So the low and medium is perfect for in town. I found low to be absolutely perfect. Yeah, this is an excellent driving bus. What else can I say? Not too much. It's extremely stable. I mean, 18-wheelers don't even phase it for an iota of time. They don't phase it at all. The coach is really, really stable. And like I said, pays no mind to 18-wheelers or heavy things passing it. It stays on the road very easily. The wheelbase is long, but not too long to where you're, fighting the thing to get in and out of parking lots and tight areas. And I like that about American Coach. They typically refrain from putting in really, really long wheelbases, which I respect because you really don't need it. This has a 302-inch wheelbase. So it's not like a super long wheelbase. I've definitely seen longer in 45s. And that, again, so if you have a shorter wheelbase, it's easier to turn in and out in tight corners. 150-gallon fuel tank. Blah, blah, blah. All in all, I'm trying to refrain from saying too many technical things, at least on the test drive, because I find with test drives, it really comes down to feel. If it came down to technological features 100% in these buses, then by default, the new coaches with all the touch screens and all that, and the screens and everything, would drive better. But that's not true. It's just why, it's also why like classic muscle cars or classic cars, European cars, just drive so well. There's something to them. Every vehicle, it doesn't matter what year it is, if it's a well-engineered product, it's going to drive very well the day it was made and 10 years down the road. So this is one of those buses. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's a really good driving coach. And I'm rambling on here, but there's really nothing else for me to say. You have to drive it. And I wish I could give people some of my experience, my knowledge, because after driving so many buses, this truly is one of the best I've driven outside of the Prevost world. But even within the Prevost world, the Prevosts don't have as much power as this coach does. You know, the Detroit Series 60 that you see in a lot of Prevosts, obviously before the Volvo engines, are fantastic engines. They're fantastic. They just don't make the power that the ISX does. The ISX makes a crap ton of power, a crap ton of torque. So you're going to be able to hit, I mean, really fly down the road and tow a lot. Anyways, that's about it for the test drive. Again, I don't have anything else to say. It's just such a great driving bus. The steering is very tight. There's no play in the steering. It's just, the steering wheel is also nice. I love the wood. The view out of here is fantastic, especially with the new piece of glass, because you can see it's perfectly clear. So the view up here is really great. I love this huge window over here. And of course you have shade, so all I have to do is pull this out, press driver shade, and you see I can shade myself from whatever sun is going on over there. Same with all the shades on the other side of the coach. Anyways, that's going to conclude the test drive. I wish I had more intricate things to say right now. I'm not articulating very well at this moment in time, but that's okay. I think you get the image here. It's a fantastic bus, and one of the best driving out there. That is something I can say that I know for a fact, at least from what I've seen and what I've driven. And I've driven a lot of stuff. And I love the setup. Oh, I love the setup in here. Anyways, that's going to conclude the video. Thank you so much for watching.